Okay. All right. So in case you didn't hear me before, what I was asking everybody to do is just kind of think about what brought you to the practice and what role has the Sangha played in your practice. So one of the things that Thich Nhat Hanh talked about was having a Dharma body. And what he talked about with that is that the Dharma body is the body in which we practice the Dharma. And then he talked about the Sangha body. So the Sangha as a whole, as one, practicing the Dharma together. I really like that. So that's going to be kind of the touchstone of the talk, but I'm going to kind of bring you back to what kind of got me here on this. So my daughter graduated high school this year. Yay, hallelujah. And so while a couple of months prior to her graduation, I was making her a surprise, and I was collecting all these photos from birth until the time, for her graduation, and I was really working on it and just putting all these photos together with music. And as I was doing this, I was just really filled with so much gratitude, just really thinking about all the people it took for this one moment in time to happen. It really does take a village to raise a child, for sure. And so I just started thinking about that, just the gratitude for family and friends, and all of that. And then I started bringing it out even more than that, like people that you don't even think of very much, like teachers, bus drivers, school cafeteria people, the school crosswalk people, like all these people for 17 years that had been a part of her life, big or small, in every moment that had brought her here. And then one of the things that then came after that and that gratitude was the immense gratitude that I have for my teacher and the Sangha and the practice. Because when I came to the practice, Rhea was 6, so that came in 2011 when I first came to the practice. And very dysregulated, to say the least. And I really liked what Angie said in one of her talks, where she talked about how the Sangha helps to co-regulate each other. Love that. So true. So true, to help co-regulate each other. And just thinking of all of the help that everyone in my Sangha over the years, in one way, shape, or form, has helped me grow, helped me heal, helped me to be a better person, therefore helped me to be a better parent. I would not have been the parent that I am today if it was not for my practice and for my Sangha at all, or my teacher. You're part Sangha, so you're good. So just having immense gratitude for that. And most of you know that I'm a therapist, and when I came into the practice, I really didn't know what I was getting into. I had a thing for Buddhism. I kind of dabbled in it here or there, but I didn't really know a whole lot about it. And it just so happened, really meshed well for me. And one of the things that I noticed about it that I really liked in terms of how it mirrored my own kind of beliefs and also my own therapy style, is it kind of mirrored Carl Rogers' model, which is Rogerian model. And in the Rogerian model, which I use a lot in therapy, the idea is that every person has within them the ability to heal themselves, to self-actualize, to be the very best possible human being. It's all within them. And 9 times out of 10, most people don't realize that, right? They're looking outside of themselves, like, therapist, help me. When really it's within them, and the therapist just highlights that, and with unconditional positive regard, creates that space. Continually highlight that, so they can see that and feel that, until they get to that space where they can. And it kind of mirrors the idea that everybody's bodhisattva, just don't know it. And So when you're feeling, at least for myself, very dysregulated, not able to see or feel that, and healers need healing, and I needed a safe space to heal. And this very much, it created, the Sangha created that space in order for me to do that. Kind of seeing the light within me at times where I couldn't see it or feel it, holding that space for me. And until I could walk into it and feel it. And very grateful. So then I started thinking about relationships just in general. Everything we do, everything is about relationships. We get hurt in relationships. We heal in relationships. We grow in relationships. Everything we do is within relationships. Even when we're by ourselves, it's a relationship within ourselves, right? And how we work with our family of selves, or sometimes maybe not work too well. And, learning how to work with the family of selves, which very grateful for the style that Roshi has with Zen dialogue. That was very helpful for me in learning that. But these relationships and how important they are to us, we are social creatures. We cannot do this on our own. We need each other. Sangha body. And it was, I don't know about all of you, but very difficult during the pandemic, where all we could, it was very difficult. We weren't able to see, feel, touch people that were so important. And thank goodness for Zoom. Very grateful for that. And so in the midst of all of this wonderful feelings of gratitude, which my daughter was she got into some like crisis mode stuff because there was this risk of her not potentially graduating. And so there was a lot of going on, and I kind of got pulled into this crisis with her, and like we're in crisis mode and all this and trying to fix everything. and I was, and for me, at least, when I get into that crisis mode, I'll get triggered sometimes, and I have to kind of like notice and be aware of what parts of myself are being activated so that I can try to calm that. But in the midst of that, my husband, he went and got the mail, and he brought the mail to me, and he said, "Oh, here, you got some mail." And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is awesome." And I sponsor some girls and a couple of girls in third world countries, and I don't get to hear from them very often, but at this moment in time, there was a letter from Beauty. She's 17 years old, same age as my daughter. And she lives in Africa. And she was talking about, she was so happy, and she was so proud, and wanted to share with me that she had finished 7th grade. And she was going to go to 8th grade. And here I was worrying about this. It just brought me, back to the bigger things, that really bigger picture. And even though I've never met her or some of the other girls sponsored, there's a relationship there. And it's important for me to pay it forward and to be able to give. And it's just very meaningful for me to be able to pay back for all of the people that have helped me. I think back to like all the different things that you probably don't remember this talk, but I probably say it a lot. But there was this one talk when I was first coming that you were giving, and I was really struggling with meditation. And you're like, you just kind of like gently just said, there are no bad meditations. And I was like, thank God somebody said that, because I'm over here feeling like I'm having all these bad meditations. I was like, oh, okay. That kind of like, made my that go away. And then there was a talk that Dave gave that was on the Heart Sutra. And he broke it down, I mean, line by line by line. And it was like, whoa, like I didn't understand at all what the Heart Sutra was saying until he broke it down into each of those things. I was like, wow, now I get it. I get it. And all of Lynn's mini Dharma talks, I mean, those are priceless. I mean, I love those. I'm going to miss people, so I'm sorry if I forget. But Elizabeth's talks, were really important to me, because sometimes Zen and the headiness of Zen I don't always relate to, but Elizabeth always comes from the heart. And I so connected with Elizabeth and Mike with that. And I needed that connection so that it wasn't just the heady Zen stuff for me. Like I've already mentioned, Angie's co-regulation, so love that. Roshi talking about, and also mentioning, like just at the end of the talk, about all of this really just being a miracle. It really is. Everything in this moment right here that has led up to this moment is a freaking miracle. All the micro things in our guts and all the universe inside of us that's happening for me to be able to talk and think and do all of this, and same thing for all of you. All of the conditions and things that have happened, and I mean, infinity and beyond, sorry, that has created for us to be here. It's just mind-boggling. And all of it, like just kind of sitting in that, or just allowing yourself to feel that, it's pretty amazing. I was thinking about Robert's talk, and not too long ago, and he was talking about what's our attention for the practice. And when I came to the practice, my intention was to suffer less. It was just pretty basic. And then I think somebody online, I think it was Russ, said, well, that's kind of the nice thing about our practice, is that it naturally kind of does that. Like if you just do the work, you'll suffer less, which is really neat. So I guess my talk for today, I know it's a little jumbled and all over the place, which I just want to mention one other thing. I was thinking about Tina Turner. Because I was thinking about her, and I was like, she might have been my very first introduction to Buddhism. I was like I think I was a preteen or teen, and I was watching her made-for-TV life story, and saw that Buddhism was what helped her get out of her abusive relationship and heal. And I remember, like, that was my first exposure really to it. And I saw, how it like really helped her. And I thought, never met Tina Turner. But guess what? That was in my subconscious somewhere that said, hey, that's something that might heal you. And thank you, Tina, wherever you are. Sometimes you just don't know the people that you're reaching or the people that you're helping. That one word, that one thing you say that makes somebody feel connected or understood or heard or helps them on their journey. And sometimes we don't always tell each other. And that's why I guess for me today it was important to tell everyone, because for me it was a really big moment for my daughter to graduate. And I wanted to stop multi-generational trauma, and I did, but I didn't do it alone.